Goal today we have MasterCastTV. Being a Jedi is a bit more than swinging a laser sword about, just as it's more than lifting rocks and such. We already have 7 movies where there's a big lightsaber duel at the end. Technically speaking, we have 6 films, seeing as how New Hope ends with a battle over Yavin, but you catch my drift. I get that a lot of folks don't really care for Last Jedi now, though I appreciate the fact we actually got something new. The Force Awakens, while a lot of fun, felt like a greatest hits compilation to me. The whole desert planet, young dreamer, secret plans, giant death ball, etc. Fun, been there, done that. Last Jedi actually felt fresh and dared to take some risk. Some ideas were underdeveloped. I think, though its core is genuine, it's all about Kylo's line to Rey, man. It's time let old things die. I suppose the irony here is that it's a sequel to a decade-old franchise with more on the way, but laugh out loud. Well, keeping in the line of criticism, this is a good criticism of my stance on why I did a radical rewind. This was on a radical rewind, and one of those videos I alluded back to was the endings of the Star Wars films and how I thought, personally, The Last Jedi by far had the worst ending of all the Star Wars films. There's various reasons it has the worst ending, but one I focused on was the fact that out of all the movies, there was not a big lightsaber battle at the end. And someone left an interesting comment. I think Jesus M might have been a sarcastic comment. And they said, on a kung fu movie, that'd be like having a kung fu movie and not a big kung fu fight at the end of the movie, going in maybe a different direction or whatever. What they gave us, just in many ways with that movie, was not what fans wanted. I understand sometimes you don't always have to give people fan service. It was the direct opposite of The Force Awakens, where The Force Awakens was fan service, completely fan service. It had certain scenes that really struck out to you, like Han Solo dying at the end. I disagree. I really like The Force Awakens, but I will have to admit that some of that might just be nostalgia from that movie. Okay, the thing is with Star Wars, I'm not against taking it in a different direction. But if you take something and you completely go off the wall in a completely different direction and you change everything about it, it shows a director that really doesn't seem to care about old things. The thing about Star Wars is a lot of that, the old things, they worked. Lightsaber battles at the end of the movie, that works. Light and dark side of the Force, that works. Kind of in a way, I think I once equated it to professional wrestling. There's some matches that are great between two faces or two heels, but people aren't really invested in that. You gotta have direct heels and baby faces. Star Wars, you really gotta have direct good guys and bad guys. Okay? It's just like cops and robbers. It's you can only take so much with it. And some people say, Rian Johnson, he was daring to take it in different directions. The thing is, it doesn't seem like a Star Wars movie. You watch it and it doesn't feel like it. And it looks like Ryan, whatever his name is, was going out of his way. It perfectly encapsulated that whole movie when Luke threw his lightsaber over his shoulder. Like, hey, you know what? No more of this. I'm getting rid of the old ways. If his idea of a great ending was, hologram Luke, I'm not even going to go over that. The thing is, MasterCastTV, when I look at that movie, I look at all the differences. I'm not a director. I'm not a major Hollywood director, MasterCastTV. And I wrote myself a much better ending to that movie. I took certain parts of it and I cut it out. Like most all of what happened with Finn and that Asian chick at that one place, I cut that completely out of the movie. My version of The Last Jedi was a lot better. And like I said, I'm just some dude named Rick. If I can look at that, if many people can look at that and say, it was like just a giant troll of the movie when you think about it, because he's like, oh, you think you're going to get this? Ha ha. Well, maybe that's not the best word. Like, how about, it's a twist. It's a twist. There's so much of that movie that, I'm not going to go into a long Star Wars rant, but basically the idea is that you can take something like Star Wars and make it fresh, freshen it up a little bit. You can to an extent, but you're always going to need the core. You know, you're always going to need the core. And so many people that came by that movie, and they mentioned on the, Mary Sue character and Ray, the, feminism that was in the movie, the shouting down to male characters from that purple haired girl, stupidity, like force jamming the ship through hyperspace or whatever. There's many things that it kind of showed a person that either didn't care about watching the previous Star Wars movies or just had a plot and was like, okay, lightsabers, force, okay, I'll just wing it or whatever. It shows someone that didn't have a lot of love for the previous films to me. That's what I saw in Ryan Johnson. And with the next film coming up, hopefully J.J. Abrams can right the ship